meet people of the internet. My name is Rosie Moon Thursday, and I have been practicing Wicca for about a year. Today I would like to share what Wicca is and the history of this beautiful religion. Without further ado, let's get to it. First things first, I have a couple of disclaimers to go over. One, I am just one Wiccan among many. One of the fantastic parts of this religion is that no one Wiccan's path is the same. All the information in this video is knowledge I have acquired during my path this year. If I get something wrong, feel free to leave a comment down below. Any negative or bullying comments will be deleted. 2, I choose to practice this religion, but I also have respect for your religion, whatever that may be. I don't believe that my religion is the only path, and you will suffer if you do not convert. You do you, and you practice your own religion, and I will practice mine. 3, this video is purely for education. I am not here to recruit anyone to the Wiccan faith, but merely here to help anyone who is just getting started in Wicca or who is interested in learning this path. Phew! Glad that is over. Now, what is Wicca? Wicca is a religion based on witchcraft and shaman practices. From what I understand, it was created by a man named Gerald Gardner in the 1950s. More like he was the pioneer of bringing Wicca to the masses in both England and America. It is an earth-based religion, which means Wiccans use nature heavily in their practice. I like to think of it like Wiccans are worshipping nature. Wiccans work alongside nature to achieve their goals, as well as work to preserve nature and her bounties. For the most part, Wicca is a duotheistic religion, which means that one would worship a god and a goddess. Now, this part is probably the most important part of this video because I would say it is one of the biggest misconceptions out there. Wiccans do not, in any way, shape, or form, worship the devil. The devil is a construct of other religions. The Wiccan god is often seen or represented as a horned god, better known as Pan, and he is not evil. From what I understand, and I haven't done a whole lot of research into this subject, so I won't talk a lot about it, but from what I understand, when Christianity arose and began to convert pagans to Christianity, they took the pagan god and made him into the evil symbol known as the devil. Again, just to drive this point home, Wiccans do not worship the devil, and for the most part, Wiccans do not even believe in the devil. Along this same thought process, the symbol for Wicca is something called the pentacle, which is shown on the left-hand side of the book. The pentacle is a pentagram inside of a circle. I know commonly that a pentagram is referred to the upside-down star inside a circle, which is the symbol of Satanism, which is shown on the right-hand side of the book. Pentagram is actually the geographical term for a 5-point star. The pentacle is right side up inside the circle, and it stands for the 4 elements: air, fire, water, earth, and the spirit. Despite common belief, Wicca is not exclusive to just women. Men can also be Wiccan, and they are welcomed with open arms. In fact, Wicca accepts everyone, no matter what walk of life they come from. No matter what sexuality or ethnicity, Wiccans will accept you. So, remember when I said that no one Wiccan's path is the same? Well, some Wiccans only worship a goddess, or some Wiccans may only worship a god. That's the beauty about Wicca, is that you can practice how and when you want. Unlike most religions, Wicca does not have a centralized place of worship, nor does it have a main figurehead that is looked to for guidance, like, say, Catholics have a pope. Instead, some Wiccans choose to be in a coven of 13 like-minded people. Now, if one was in a coven, there is a high priestess and a high priest who will lead the coven. Pictured on the right-hand side of the book is Gerald Gardner and his high priestess Doreen Valente. There are other ranks within the coven as well. Also, there are Wiccans that choose to practice in solitude, like me for example. I am what is called a solitary Wiccan. I choose to practice my craft by myself without a... On the flip side of Wicca not being centralized, one thing that all Wiccans do follow is a set of rules called the Wiccan Read. I'm not going to read them all off because I feel this video is long enough, but I will put them on the screen for you to pause and read if you like. Basically what the Wiccan Read boils down to is, if it harms none, do what you will. Wicca is a peaceful religion. It is about being at peace with nature and teaches you to love all those that cross your path. Alrighty, so remember way at the beginning of this video when I said that Wicca was based off witchcraft? Well, a lot of times Wiccans and witches are mixed up or used to describe the same thing. First of all, not all Wiccans are witches, and not all witches are Wiccans. Confused? That's okay. I oftentimes find it confusing as well. Let me try to clarify. So some Wiccans do spells and perform rituals much like a witch would. However, on the flip side of that, there are Wiccans who preserve nature and honor nature but do not perform rituals or perform spells. Are you with me so far? Good. Witches primarily do spells and do rituals, and that is what defines them as witches. Now, there is something known as the right-hand path and the left-hand path. The right-hand path is known as the good path, or the light side, if you will. The left-hand path is known as the evil path, or the dark side. Wiccans walk the right-handed path. Now this might get messy, so stay with me because I don't wish to misrepresent witches. Witches walk both the right-hand and the left-hand path as I understand it. For the most part, witches can go either direction based on the choices they make. Upon saying that, I am not in any way, shape, or form saying that to be a witch you have to be evil, or even that all witches are evil. By the way, witches also don't worship the devil either. Witches are humans, just like you or me, and witches come in all different types. Some are evil, and some are good, and some walk that fine line between the two. Just like any human being out there. I am not preaching that I am a saint, or that to be Wiccan you have to be perfect or saintly either. There have been days when I have seriously considered using a hex or binding spell to stop people who do me wrong in their tracks, but that is all part of my path. Another thing that differs between witches and Wiccans is that Wiccans believe in something called the threefold rule. What the threefold rule is what you put into the universe will return you 3 times. So for instance, if I put a positive energy into the universe, say like cleaning up trash at the local park, the universe will return that positive energy back to me 3 times. Or say for instance that I put negative energy out in the universe by, say, littering, the universe will return that negative energy back to me times 3. Basically, it is like karma. Witches do not necessarily believe in the threefold rule. Maybe some witches believe in karma, but as far as I'm aware, the threefold rule is exclusive to the Wicca faith. Lastly on this subject, Wicca is a religion whereas being a witch is not a religion. You can be a witch and worship gods or a goddess, however. If you want, I can do a video explaining this further, or you could pop over to Hearth Witch's channel and check out her video on different types of witches. She is very knowledgeable and she goes into excellent detail. I'll leave a link in the description below. So let's take a second to talk about death. No, this isn't going to take a dark turn, but every religion believes in life after death. Most religions teach that if you do good in your life, then you will go to heaven, or whatever that religion's version of heaven is. They also teach that if you are a bad person during your life, then you will go to hell, or whatever equivalent. Well, Wicca teaches that no matter how you act in your life, when you die, you will go to a place called Summerland. Once in Summerland, one would then reflect on different aspects of your life. Most Wiccans also believe in reincarnation. I say most because not every Wiccan necessarily believes in reincarnation. One teaching is that every human has a lesson to learn in their life, and if one doesn't learn this lesson, then their soul is then reincarnated into the next life, and one would get the chance to learn the lesson over and over. Once someone learns their personal lessons, they would then be reincarnated into an animal and enjoy their life from there. The second teaching is that one would be reincarnated into whatever the universe needs at the time, whether it be an animal or another human. I personally do not believe in reincarnation. It makes the most sense to me, but I have spent most of my life believing that there is nothing after death. You get this one life, and that's it, and you are recycled back into the earth afterward. That said, it is easy to believe in reincarnation, especially when you consider odd phenomenon like deja vu. One last thing I would like to mention before I end this video, Wiccans attune with nature, if you haven't guessed from the rest of this video. Wiccans have a bunch of holidays that follow that same path. There are 8 Wiccan holidays called Sabbats, and each one corresponds with 8 different points in the year, such as the spring equinox, autumn equinox, and so on. Then there is something called an Esbot. That is the celebration of the full moon of each month to honor the goddess. If you'd like to learn more about the Wiccan holidays, please let me know in the comments below. I would like to do a video on each Sabbath and one to explain the Esbots. With that all said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, join the path and subscribe. Also, please drop a like so I know how I am doing. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I will see you all in my next video.